Before watching the video, don't forget to subscribe the channel and enable bell notification to never miss an update from us.
Hello everyone, good morning. This is Ashima and you're watching us on Entri channel. So this is a video of daily current affairs in which we talk about daily news events and we discuss about the news events that have occurred, as well as we talk about those news events in a bit of detail, or it is more of an informative segment for all of you, where we are going to talk about the details in such a manner that it doesn't orient any examination, it orients all the examinations, because you're gaining information for all the examination in every prospect possible, right? So that is for the brief about this video, what you're going to experience in a few minutes. As for those who want to check out the questions as well, so for all of you we have a quiz which runs every day on Entri app. Now Entri app can be downloaded from the Google Play Store, and there you will get an option. You can choose your examination which you're preparing for, do the registration and initials. After that you can opt for taking a daily current affairs quiz which happens over there. It's a hardly 10-minute quiz with 10 questions, and it's a fluctuating one, so some days 10, some days 15, depending on the news events. So 10 to 15 questions in hardly 10 minutes. That will give you a quick overview and a quick recap for your preparation of current affairs, and it will help you keep in touch with the news events. So you can see how the questions are framed and you can see how much you remember about the news events. So you can download the Entri app and take the quiz from there. Now beginning up on our discussion, the first one news event which we are going to talk about is Har Ghar Nal Yojana. Where has it been launched? This has been launched in the state of Uttar Pradesh. So it has been launched in Uttar Pradesh, and the net worth or the net investment that this whole project is going to take is approximately 5,555 crores. That's quite easy to remember, seeing the rhyming of this. So that being about this Yojana, now if we talk further about this, who has launched it? It has been launched by the Prime Minister of India, and the idea behind this is to places in UP, that is Sonbhadra and Mirzapur district. These two districts are the target districts of this scheme in UP. And now why has this been launched? Now since UP is one of those states which has the most number of rivers flowing through, like perennial rivers, that being Ganga, Yamuna, Saryu, Ghagra, all these rivers flow from there, but still the regions that being mentioned, Mirzapur and Sonbhadra, these two regions have a lack of water, a problem of lack of water. So this scheme is going to provide tap water for every household in the district, and it is going to take the benefit of these rivers to these villagers, that is providing them purified water which can be consumed. Right now, what are the major components of this scheme? First of all, making the drinking water available. So availability of drinking water is the first prospect. The second prospect being that removal of contamination from the water, contaminants removal from the waters is another one. And third one is you can say processing of the water and water labs to be set up, laboratories which can check the quality of water and what services need to be done to take care of them, surveilling the quality of water every time or every certain time, taking the knowledge of the quality of water, capacity building for the communities, that is water storage facilities. These are all things that are the components of this scheme that have been launched. Next is Pradhanmantri Kisan Sampada Yojana. Now this is a new Yojana, but it has certain new aspects which have come towards it. That is Ministry of Food and Processing has launched a food processing project under this scheme, which is constituting of about 234.68 crores as of now. So as we had seen earlier too, that India is working towards increasing the processing segment for India. Now India ranks very high in production. We have good production. We are second largest producers. But when it comes to processing that production, we don't have enough capacities. We do not have enough infrastructure for that. We do not have enough training for that. So under this Yojana, processing project is going to be developed, that being processing industries and facilitations to be developed so that food processing can be done. Right? So that is the expansion of it. Now when I'm saying expansion, what exactly is Pradhan Mantri Sampada Yojana? That it means expansion. So PM Sampada Yojana was initially launched by the name Sampada, and it was launched in 2016. Then later on, when it came to 2017, so in 2017, it was renamed as Pradhanmantri Sampada Yojana. So later on, the name was changed to Pradhan Mantri Kisan Sampada Yojana, as we say. So there were 7 components to the Kisan Sampada Yojana. PM Kisan Sampada Yojana has 7 components, being mega food parks being developed. So you can see various mega food parks are being established. Then agro processing clusters infrastructure, then cold chain building, value addition infrastructure, creating and expanding food chain processing and preservations, creation of backward and forward linkages, human resource institutions, food safety and quality assurance, agro-processing clusters. There are these 7 components towards the building of this PM Kisan Sampada Yojana. Apart from that, India has a national food processing policy which was launched in 2019, and its purpose is to increase the food processing sector as a whole. And how much increment they want? They want to increase it to 6 times by 2035. This is the target of National Food Processing Policy. So this policy is being merged with PM Kisan Sampada Yojana so that a joint result can be obtained at a better level. So training center has already been started, and now we are working with the scheme for increasing the purpose of it, right? Alright, so that being it, the next one which we have is international version of Umang application. Now Umang application's international version has been launched, which comprises its launch in approximately 9 countries. Right, so first we'll talk about Umang application and then we'll talk about the expansion. So who has done that? It has been done by Union Information and Technology Minister Shri Ravi Shankar Prasad. So it has been done by Ministry of Information and Information Technology. And who is the Union Minister? It is Shri Ravi Shankar Prasad. What does Umang stand for? Umang is Unified Mobile Application for New Age Governance. Now this application is unique in its form that it provides all the information regarding the government services that are there. So all the government services that are there, those services are available on Umang app, and apart from being the service sector, it also has the Indian Meteorological Department forecasts on its platform. That is IMD information, Indian Meteorological Department information is also on this, and it also has the information about all the government sector services that are available, right? Now, what are the services that we're talking about, be it from Income Tax Department, be it from Pensions Department, be it of Land Records or e-Pathshala or Crop Insurance or EPFO, every service is available on Umang app, right? Now, it has recently also won about 4 awards. 4 awards. World Development Program was being held recently in Dubai. World Development Program was being held in Dubai, and over there, Umang app has won 4 world-class awards or top awards. Where has it been launched recently for international basis? It has been launched in UK, US, Australia, Canada, Netherlands, UAE, Australia, Singapore, and New Zealand. So it is approximately 8 to 9 countries where it has been launched, and it has been launched in the context that this year 3 years of Umang have been completed. So Ministry of External Affairs and Ministry of IT have come up together, and they have launched this, because since it's an external affairs matter as well, because it's something which is international, so External Affairs Ministry had to be involved, and it helps avail several government services that I have already told you. Then India and European Union held the 6th round of consultations on disarmament and non-proliferation matter, that being the nuclear matter, right? Nuclear weapons matter. So recently India and European Union had held a meeting which comprised about the funding regarding the terrorism, right? So that was held recently. Now it has been expanded towards chemical, nuclear and biological disarmament as well. Now India is following something which we know as nuclear doctrine. India has a nuclear doctrine which was of 2003. So in 2003, India had adopted the nuclear doctrine which pledged towards a nuclear weapon-free world, right? Whereas if we talk about the nuclear weapons stockpiles that are there, so there is an organization which acronym is SIPRI, or you can say Stockholm International Peace Research Institute. So according to SIPRI, in 9 states in the world have approximately 13,800 nuclear weapons. And those 9 states are UK, India, France, Russia, Pakistan, China, North Korea and Israel. Right? There are 9 kingdoms: UK, India, France, Pakistan, China, USA, Russia, North Korea and Israel. These are the countries where there is if we combine all the nuclear power they have approximately 13,800 nuclear weapons as of now. Right? So that making it a kind of a tough one on the market. Right now, what have they discussed? What was this meeting about? They discussed majorly about the exchange of information on the developments of nuclear weapons that are taking place in both the countries, be it a chemical weapon, be it a nuclear weapon, be it a biological weapon. Whichever weapons are being developed, exchange of information should be done that they're developing such and such thing. That is what they want. So talks on this were held. Apart from that, export control regions were also discussed about this, and stability of environment was also discussed in this whole matter. Right? Next, 46 online AICTE online and learning, or you can say Atal Academy faculty development programs were held, and it was held in association with AICTE, and the purpose was to bring in the training sector to all the higher education institute professors as of now. So faculty members need to be taught about how the world is developing, how the technology can be taken into consideration when we are teaching. So for that, AICTE and Atal Academy came together for bringing in 46 online courses for the faculty members. AICTE also launched recent Women Empowerment Awards. Right, so that is also important. Then Defense Research Development Organization, or DRDO, recently flagged off the first Varunastra, which is a heavyweight torpedo, which has been designed by BDL Visakhapatnam unit of Indian Navy. So Indian Navy has developed a Varunastra, which is a heavyweight torpedo. This is important because it is India's first, right? And it is basically what is now Varunastra. What we are talking about is Varunastra, but what exactly it is? It is a ship. It is a ship-launched, electrically propelled, heavyweight anti-submarine torpedo, which can target the quiet submarines, and it is capable of that in both shallow and deep water. Right. So this torpedo can be. It can target the submarines in heavy waters as well as, or you can say, deep waters and shallow waters. Right. Next, Martyrdom Day of Guru Tegh Bahadur was held on 24th of November, which is also celebrated as Shahidi Divas every year. And in Hindu, we call it a Hind Di Chadar, due to the love and respect for Guru Tegh Bahadur. Then Aviation Awareness Week was held between November 23rd to 27th of November. An International Day for Elimination of Violence Against Women is marked on 25th of November, and this year the theme was Fund, Respond, Prevent and Collect. This was the theme of elimination of violence against women and filling up the gender gap that is there. So this is not only about elimination of violence, but it is also about spreading the awareness that women it is like a voice to the women who are facing domestic violence, who are facing rapes and other forms of violence, be it whatsoever. Right? So all those sorts of violence as well as facing of gender gap which is there. That. Now, along with this International Day of Elimination of Violence Against Women, there is a 16-day activism program which is started. 16-day activism program has been started, and it is based on or targeting the gender-based violence basically, right? So there are certain dates regarding it, like it will begin on 25th of November, which is International Day of Elimination of Violence Against Women, and it will end on 10th of December, which is International Human Rights Day, right? Next, moving ahead, Cyclone Nivar. which is Nivar name has been given by Israel, is to make landfall between Mamallapuram and Karaikal in Tamil Nadu, and it will hit all the coastal areas of Tamil Nadu, Andhra Pradesh and Puducherry. So Cyclone Nivar is going to hit India recently, and preparations have already come into force. Disaster force has been deployed and stuff like that. Everything has been taken place or done. But we can, in the question, we can expect that which areas were hit by Cyclone Nivar or which cyclone had hit recently. Who gave the name Nivar? It was by Israel. Then India will host the G20 summit in 2023. Earlier, India was supposed to hold it in 2022, but it has been moved to 2023 now. Right? Then Invest India and United Nations Development Program has launched the Sustainable Development Goal Investor Map for India, where 18 investment opportunity areas have been marked. Now, what happens by this? See, first of all, what was the idea? India is having certain financial problem in completing all the sustainable development goals in the country. Right? We have a gap of about 400 billion US dollars. Because of COVID-19, our economy has gone down. So completing the SDG or Sustainable Development Goals by 2030, we need approximately 400 billion US dollars. Right? So to help bridge that gap or reduce that gap of finance, Invest India and UNDP, they both have laid out approximately 18 investment opportunity areas where India can develop, and that development can affect the reducing the gap of 400 billion to a bit of less. Right? So, the map comprises of 6 sustainable development goals which can be reduced, that being healthcare, education, financial service, agriculture, allied service, renewable energy, and alternative and sustainable development. These are the 6 segments for which India can work together, and for these 6 segments, these 18 investment opportunities have been marked. So, there are 6 goals for which these investment opportunities have been marked for India, that being healthcare, education, financial services, agriculture and services, renewable energy and alternative and sustainable development. Right? And out of these 18 options that have been given, 10 have a strong venture capital activity and private equity, which requires private equity a lot, and it can be quite successful for India. Right? All right. So financing gap has been increases. 2.64 trillion of US dollars investment is required for India, and 400 billion gap we have for India. So that being it, we wind up the segment over here. I hope this segment was helpful to all of you and informative, and you found this segment helpful is the primary thing. See you now tomorrow with the more news events. Until then, goodbye. Take care. Have a wonderful day ahead, and keep learning. Have a great day ahead.